All right. So Rachel Amphlet and Belinda Pollard are with me the day after, the night before. So I'll start with you, Rachel. Just tell us what you write to start with.
I'm currently writing spy thrillers and crime fiction, so police procedurals, spy novels in the theme of Jack Reacher and James Bond, and having a lot of fun doing it.
Excellent. Sounds good. And what was your workshop about yesterday?
My workshop yesterday tackled getting your books into libraries, looking at how to build and sustain a mailing list that is actively supporting your writing, and then taking a look at building out your platform using social media and reaching new readers through advertising, paid advertising such as Amazon adverts, book club adverts, and Facebook adverts.
Excellent. I got a lot out of that yesterday. I've got 4,000 people on my mailing list, but I don't think many of them actually interact.
That's great. That's great to hear, because that engagement is so important. And as we talked yesterday, there's no point in having a huge mailing list if they're costing you money and they're not supporting your writing.
That's it. I got a lot out of that, and even Amazon ads. I've been doing the wrong type of Amazon ads, but they are kind of working for me.
That's it. You've just got it. As I said yesterday, you experiment, but within your own budget comfort. We're all, as writers, we're all guilty of comparisonitis and think that we're not doing something right because someone else is spending a bit more. You've got to stay within your own budget, your own comfort zone.
Yeah, that's right, exactly. Brilliant. And Belinda, so tell us about your workshop yesterday.
Well, I was talking about, it was about perfecting your book and the different things that you can do to do that. Your self-editing, managing a team of beta readers, and also a little bit on that time when you go to hire a professional editor and how to choose one and where to find the one that is actually a good fit for you, because it is actually important that not just that your editor is well qualified and experienced, but that they're a really good fit for you. But all of those things that we can do along the way through our project at the different levels of editing, like I talked about 3 different levels of self-editing, levels of zoom on a camera, and there's zoom level 1, which is like the big overarching thing where you're looking at how many characters, where the plot's actually going, those really big issues that we look at, and that's part of editing. And then the second level is at the chapter and paragraph level, where you're looking at the flow and the elegance of the expression and that sort of stuff. And then the third one is that zoom level 3 is when you're zooming right in and you're looking at commas and full stops and spelling and punctuation. Often people think that last one is what editing is, but actually editing is all 3. And self-editing, beta readers and pro editors can help you in all 3 stages, not just one.
I really love that Zoom analogy. That really resonated with me and made a lot of sense.
It did. And Rachel, you'd probably agree that if you're going to spend money as an independent author, it's the editor and the cover.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah. Those are the 2 things you have to save for, and if you haven't got the money just yet, it pays to wait until you have, rather than rush it out. There's nothing wrong with changing your covers later on for rebranding. I've done it a couple of times, but you stand yourself in so much better, in good stead to actually launch with a really good cover and a proper edit right from the get-go. It's first impressions. You've got to think of those first pages that people see if they haven't been edited. It's like having a business and the receptionist on the front desk doesn't look that great and isn't making a good impression of your business, and that's what an edit does for you.
That's right, especially when on Amazon you get the previews.
The look inside.
Look inside.
And I am an editor, but I still hire an editor for my own books.
And that says a lot for what you need as a writer.
You can't see it when it's in your own work. It's just so hard to see it in your own work. You can see it in someone else's, like there's neon lights around it, but in your own, and these are like bigger issues. I'm not just talking about missing commas. I'm talking about bigger issues as to, how many characters you should be having and whether you over-explain, which is one of my classics.
Whereas I just say, the plane took off.
And it was interesting, Belinda, in your workshop, within about 10 minutes, we had a huge aha moment from one of the girls in there.
Yeah.
Do you remember what?
I don't actually. Can you remind me? Because it was so many things happening yesterday.
I think it was with the beta readers, and she said she was getting too many people with too
and
many
she wasn't
opinions.
briefing them.
That's right.
That's
She
right.
wasn't briefing them. She was just sending it to them and expecting them to know what to do. And there's nothing wrong, you know, like if you've done that, there's nothing wrong with that, because lots of people do that. But you'll get a better quality of response. You'll get what you really need if you really lay out what it is you're hoping for from them, because a lot of people feel a little bit uncertain and a little bit nervous when they're giving beta reader feedback. If you spell it out for them, it makes it so much easier for them.
Off the back of that as well, I really like the fact that you pointed out that it's not about all the bad stuff they point out in your book, it's to ask them very specifically at the end, what did you like about the book? So when you get the comments back, you don't feel like tearing the manuscript up.
Yeah, because everybody would give up writing. You know, there would never be any books in the world if nobody ever got that, what do you like about it? Because we do need that to lift our spirits when we go into the big catastrophic rewrite that follows all the beta reader feedback.
After chocolate.
And when do you think you are done on a manuscript? Like, can you ever be finished?
You go first.
Someone wise told me years ago, you never finish writing a book, you just stop. And you have to try and find the right point at which to stop. And I'm the worst in the world. It took me 20 years to write my first book, so I'm not going to point and laugh if anyone else is stuck in a little bit of the land of endless rewrites, I call it. Yeah. You just go round and round and round. There comes a point where you have to just trust the book and let it go, set it free. That's it.
I found with me it helps setting publication dates, because I have a production schedule for every year, typically with 3 books on it, and so I set those dates and work it back, and I know the date. I book it in with my editor. I have those drop dates and I have to live up to it, so the drafting process for me is quite fast, but I still use beta readers, I still use a professional editor, but it makes me pull my finger out with A, the writing, but B, also letting go. And I know that I've done a good job and it's ready to go when it comes back to my editor, and it is just a line edit, so I've missed out on commas and things like that, and there are no comments. No comments in the track changes. You're like, did it, it's ready, publish, let it go, get on to the next job.
Do you think one day you'll be able to do a first draft that doesn't have to be edited?
No. No, absolutely. And I wouldn't trust myself anyway. Even if I thought I did, I would still pay for that edit. Yeah. I don't cut corners in my business. Yeah. It comes down to professional pride.
Yeah. And how long does it take you, Rachel, to write a first draft?
Okay, nobody fall off your chairs, okay? Like, the fastest I've ever written the book was 9 weeks. Oh my gosh. But I don't know where that came from. That was before Nightfall. Typically, I try to get first draft done in 12 weeks because I like the excitement. I feel like it's the thrill of the chase. When I finish that first draft, I may still have no names. I'll have lots of X's where people's names need to go for minor characters. And I may have notes to myself in scenes of research I need to do or check that fact. But as far as I'm concerned, that's a good enough first draft. I just throw it out there. Yeah, I really do. So, with enough care and attention, like I said, it comes down to professional pride. I'm not putting out a half-finished job, but that first draft is important to me to do it fast and then spend the time rewriting.
And you probably really release your creativity too when you do that, because you're not second-guessing yourself all the time. You're not agonising and worrying, because you just, no, let's just get it out here.
And I think that's
only the first draft.
Yeah, and it helps just keep going, making those notes, checking, use square brackets, put capital letters in there. I need to check this, or I need a bit more scenery here because I've just said the plane took off. So I go back, because I don't do exposition well. I just get on with it and blow stuff up and shoot people and die. But I do understand, with the pacing and stuff. So if I'm reading it back to myself and I think, this needs a little bit more pacing just in here. I always use the analogy that I feel like the first draft is a sketch, and the drafts after that are where you go back and do the colouring in.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I like that. I've heard that a lot of times, but that does sound awesome. I like what you were saying about deadlines too. I've got my second book coming out on the 14th of November, 2 days before Rachel's. So we're going to be publishing buddies. And I have the same sort of deadlines. And I think, especially as independent authors, we have to give ourselves deadlines because no one else is really.
That's right. I mean, I'm always reminded of the Douglas Adams quote about he loves the sound of deadlines as they go whooshing past.
Yes.
I can't. I've got rent to pay. These books need to come out with us, and I work well with that sort of discipline in my life. The rest of my life can be pretty sketchy in areas, but I know when those books have to drop. And it's it's great.
So 3 a year, that's the best you can do. You're not going to do 4
Well, that was with a full-time job. So now that I'm a full-time writer, I don't see any reason why not. There's a whole back catalogue of ideas and nuggets and themes and things like that I really want to develop. I mean, I'm committed to writing I'm publishing another 2 K-Hunter books next year. There's a new historical crime fiction I want to really develop. I've been doing a lot of research for that, and proper research. I'm actually going to the University of Southampton next year and getting into their archives for that. And it's going to be fun writing something with no technology as well, no mobile phone, good old-fashioned detective work, and so many other ideas like that now I have the time to do around my other more commercial projects. So I'm really looking forward to it.
That's absolutely brilliant. And Melinda, one of the extras that you were offering this weekend was manuscript assessments.
Yes, I've had some really good feedback from people that they found it very useful. I went through, I got them to submit a one-page synopsis, which was a bit of a challenge for people to write, and I understand that because I find them hard to write too, so I just said just do it in dot points if that's what works. And a one-page on their characters, and then the first 20 pages of their manuscript, and I did a 5-page edit of the first 5 pages. And then we sat down for half an hour together and we talked it all through, and I gave them a list of strengths and opportunities. I really love doing it because the authors that I worked with on this, they've said that they've found it really useful and that it's given them an idea of where to go with the rest of the book. So that makes me happy. Yeah. It makes me happy to be able to actually help people, not to just to do something that fills a gap and creates an opportunity to do some busy work, but something that hopefully is going to help them then as they now head off into either finishing the rest of that manuscript or reworking it, to give them some concrete ideas of the different things that they're doing and the different opportunities that lie in their own manuscript. So I've really enjoyed that.
That's excellent. And I just did mine this morning and was brilliant. I've got a whole new way of thinking about it now.
I've just been seeing people walk out of these sessions and they are so hyper.
Oh, fantastic.
Yesterday, you did 4 yesterday, didn't you? I did. I was watching people come out of the room where they're almost skipping out of there. They've just got this whole new direction for their writing.
Isn't that's so wonderful? That really lifts me. Thank you for saying that.
No, it's very true.
Because I didn't see them as they I was pulling in the next
shoulder slumps looking dejected. Everyone was just they looked fired up.
Fantastic.
Which is actually really good because I was just at the Romance Writers of Australia conference and they were doing manuscript assessments. One of my friends did a manuscript assessment. She was almost in tears when she walked out. Yeah. And I had to talk to her for a good hour and just, it's okay. and she was, so, and you saw her this weekend and she was jumping.
Oh,
she
fantastic.
Really? It was a different book.
Good work.
Oh, wow.
Well done.
You'll have to quietly tell me who it was afterwards.
So anything else you guys want to add about this weekend or writers' retreats in general?
Do them.
Yeah, definitely.
And not just, it's not just what you learn, it's the fellowship of other people who share the same mental illness.
Yes.
Because writing fiction is a kind of, it's hiving off with your imaginary friends, isn't it? And lots of people think, what the heck are you doing? It's a waste of time. What are you doing this thing? But we meet with a bunch of other writers who all have this shared passion. And one of the things that I said yesterday, and that I genuinely believe, is that you have this real desire to write, and it sticks with you year after year, and it doesn't go away. Don't ignore it. It's not a mistake. That's not a mistake. It's you might feel unworthy, you might feel 100 different things, but if you have that genuine passion to write that lingers and hangs on, listen to it.
I think for me it's a case of, I was really impressed with people taking the time out to invest in their writing business. The second point was there are people, we all get into our cliques, we all hang out with writers of a similar genre. At a retreat, there are people writing in so many different genres that then build those connections and go, oh, hey, I write urban fantasy, but you write crime, but you have the same insecurities, you have the same problems I do. Maybe we should buddy up when we leave here and help each other out. And I think that's really important, but it's also important to keep learning. And we learnt off each other this weekend as well.
Definitely.
Definitely. I was taking notes during Belinda's
I was
workshop.
taking masses of notes.
We have light bulb moments. We are all learning. And it's nice to get away from home and just lock yourself away for 24 hours with similar-minded people that have the same insecurities, the same struggles, and just pull your knowledge.
Yeah, that's excellent. Yeah, yesterday we had the 2 workshops, and I know a lot of people just were exhausted by yesterday afternoon, and others of us were just, like me, bouncing around, cocktails. But a lot of people today, because we've just got this beautiful, beautiful day and magnetic island, so they're all walking around and bussing around the island, finding a quiet space by the beach to do some work,
writing,
especially after their manuscript assessments, or getting on Instagram and Facebook after what you were saying. So I know I'll be doing that tomorrow. But today I am going to find myself a quiet spot, some Panadol, and a few cups of coffee, because the headache's starting to hit. So thank you, ladies, so much.
Thank you
Thank
for
you so
inviting us
much
up
for
here.
having
It's been a lot of fun. It's been tremendous.
No worries. Thanks.